Okay, so here's a video feedback for a new member, Amna. Welcome to the group. This feedback will be based upon the band descriptors, which I color-coded. I do this, and I do change the type of comments I make here based upon the essay that I'm reading. Okay, but basically with task response, do the words that are highlighted actually help to answer the question that's being asked? And are they relevant to the specifics of this topic? I mean, like, who are we talking about? What is the issue at hand? Does it demonstrate that you've understood the question? Are you repeating yourself or repeating ideas from the question too often? Okay, coherence and cohesion. Is it easy to understand and well organized? Lexical resource, vocabulary, collocation is a big part of that. And do the words go together? And actually, this is from the leftover from the last time I used this. And grammar, articles, the bugaboo of English learners everywhere. Okay, so here's our topic. It comes from Shelley Cormack's 100 Topics blog. A great resource for people looking for task twos. All right, some people think that exams are a good way of assessing a student's level, okay, where they're at. Other people believe that that would be tests, put unnecessary pressure on young learners, there's a key word, and tell us very little about their actual ability. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. All right, so we've got to talk about two things and give our opinion. Let's see how Amna has done. Okay, most of the schools and universities carry out formal examinations to assess the students at the end of each term. One of these days, I'm gonna come up with this really cool lesson, some way to teach people effectively about this problem here, about the blank, most of the blank, plural noun. Okay, when you have a structure, most of the schools, you need to talk about what schools you're talking about here. That's why it's the. So most of the schools today, most of the schools around the world, this most of the is very frequently used incorrectly, and it needs to just not be there. With a plural noun, when we're speaking in general, as we are here, we do not use the definitive article. Now, you do need it after of, but since here we're speaking generally, all schools, just have most schools and universities. Well, who are we talking about? Young learners, children. We don't care about universities. That doesn't mean that's not answering the question. Carry out formula to assess. Once again, in front of a plural noun, when speaking in general, we do not use the definitive article. Oops, yes. Before I change anything, I'm going to save this. Let's call it purple. Yay. Okay. And there is no mention in the question about a time frame. We're talking about exams in general at the end of each term. No, that's not specified. And some people believe that these formal exams do not give an accurate result of a child's ability to learn. Well, here it says ability, but it could be the ability that they've learned, not ability to learn. Performance, while others believe that taking an exam is a good idea to assess a child's progress. Good method, a good way. In this essay, I will argue about. We don't use about with argue very often. Not a good call. I will argue why formal examinations, just get rid of about. Sometimes put unwanted pressure on students. Unnecessary, unwanted. Is any pressure wanted? Okay, on students that can result in an inaccurate assessment by discussing both the sides. I'm going to come back to this in a second. This can result in inaccurate assessment by discussing both of the sides. Now, it sounds like that the discussing of both sides results in inaccurate assessment, and that's not what you meant. It's a bit far from I will. You're going to do that. You don't need to say it. Or put another sentence. Okay? We will look. I will also look. I will look at both sides in doing this. Okay. I'd like to see some coherence here. Excuse me. Some cohesion, a connection between the introduction and the first paragraph. And this, some people believe. Some people believe. Same. Okay. And here, others believe. Further down here, some people believe. You can't repeat yourself like that so often. It's not a good, it's going to hurt your CNC. So I'm taking exams. Once again, we don't, not about each term, is a better way. This is a comparative. Okay. You have to say a better way than what? Okay. So that's not really to the topic. Is perhaps the best way or an effective way to assess a child's progress. Several schools. Well, a minute ago it was most. Now it's several. Donor universities conduct formal exams every year to check the progress. Okay, really here, you should be making your first point to support the idea or what people who think that it's an effective way would say. Okay? And lots of possibilities there. We could say that formalized tests include the material which has been reviewed during the course of the term, and therefore it is an accurate, because its content is a reflection of the content of the test is a reflection of the content of the term. It is therefore reflective of the child's ability, the child's performance in what they've learned. Instead, you're just kind of repeating the point at the beginning. Is there anything here about teacher's progress in the question? No? Okay. In this way. In what way? Oh, in this way. By doing this, a child's area of problems, not a good collocation there. Area should come after problems. Child's problem areas will be highlighted. Okay, now, with a clause like this, the same thing up here, that can result. Okay, this should really follow the noun, okay, and not the verb here. It's a relative clause, unless you put it separately. It will be highlighted. And this, in this case, I wouldn't say that, and this can help. Again, speaking in general, we do not need the before a plural noun. This can help parents, teachers, and students to work together on those particular problems. Okay, that's a good point. That's good support. Yay, you have supported the argument, or you've shown why they support it. Okay, however, I believe that there are many other ways to assess a child. For example, now note there's no comma here. Okay, so that would need to be its own sentence. So another coherence. This should be its own sentence. We've done based on. Research is an uncountable noun, so it does not take a plural.